Your silence, your struggle, and your waiting are not in vain. An unexpected shift is coming that will change everything you thought you knew about your journey. Right now, you may feel like you're walking through a season of silence, disruption, or delay. Maybe you're wondering if the plan for your life is still on track, or if it's even there at all. But what if I told you that the very moment you're in, the confusion, the stillness, the waiting, is actually the setup for something powerful, something unexpected, something divinely orchestrated that could shift everything in a moment? In this message, I'm going to walk you through 6 life-changing truths that reveal how purpose is hidden in the pressure, how breakthrough often follows silence, and why the move that's coming won't look like anything you expected, but will be everything you need. So don't scroll, don't click away, because by the end of this video, I believe you'll see your situation differently. And more than that, I believe your spirit will be stirred to hope again, believe again, and hold on. Just a little longer. The silence before the shift can be one of the most misunderstood seasons in a believer's journey. It is that quiet space where nothing seems to be moving, where prayers feel like they are hitting the ceiling and the heavens feel closed off. It is in these moments that faith is truly tested, not in the fire, not in the breakthrough, but in the silence that lingers just before everything changes. For those who live with spiritual expectation, this silence can feel like abandonment. Yet, throughout Scripture and personal experience, it's in the stillness where the deepest work happens. Not outside, but within. This silence is not emptiness. It is fullness waiting to be revealed. It is the sacred pause before divine interruption. The world might call it delay, but it is actually divine timing. What appears as inactivity is often preparation. In this season, doors may remain shut, opportunities might feel just out of reach, and answers to long-standing prayers seem delayed. But it's not because nothing is happening. It's because something far greater is being arranged behind the veil. The silence is a sign that something is coming, and what is coming cannot be rushed. It has to be perfectly aligned, deeply rooted, and spiritually timed. When there is silence, it is easy to start questioning everything: your direction, your decisions, your worth, your calling. The mind races to find answers. The heart aches for silence. Our spiritual senses are sharpened. We are forced to lean not on what we see or feel, but on what we know. That knowing becomes our anchor. It becomes the evidence of things not seen, the very essence of faith. And when the shift finally comes, it often comes suddenly, unexpectedly, powerfully, and undeniably. But those who endured the silence will recognize its arrival, not with surprise, but with reverence, because they waited with trust. They didn't give up when it got quiet. They didn't walk away when it didn't make sense. They stayed. They believed. And now they are ready for the move that was always on its way. Divine disruption rarely looks the way we expect it to. It doesn't always come with warning signs or arrive in ways that make sense to the natural mind. In fact, it often interrupts plans, shifts relationships, closes doors, and creates discomfort. To those watching with only human logic, it may seem like life is unraveling. But for those walking by faith, disruption is often the very fingerprint of divine movement. What feels like chaos is sometimes a sacred rearranging, a heavenly intervention that defies logic, but fulfills a higher plan. We are taught to value order, predictability, and structure. Our minds crave certainty, patterns, and explanations. But divine work doesn't answer to human reasoning. The Creator of all things is not confined to our understanding. His ways are not our ways, and His timing rarely fits our calendar. When things don't go according to our expectations, the immediate reaction is often fear or frustration. We think we've made a mistake or missed a turn, but often we are exactly where we are meant to be, even if it doesn't look like it. Some of the greatest breakthroughs come wrapped in what first looks like breakdown. A lost job becomes the doorway to purpose. A closed chapter leads to a deeper calling. A painful goodbye sets the stage for a divine introduction. These are not coincidences. They are strategic moves allowed, even orchestrated, to lead us to what could never be reached through comfort alone. Logic tells us to panic. Faith tells us to pause. Because in every disruption, there is a deeper design at work. Divine disruption doesn't ask for permission. It often arrives uninvited, but it never arrives without intention. It shifts what we thought was secure. It removes what no longer serves the journey. And though it hurts, it heals. Though it shakes, it also sifts. Though it confuses, it clarifies. In the process, our dependence on our own understanding is dismantled, and we are drawn deeper into trust. Not in what we can control, but in what is being written beyond our sight. So when everything starts to change without warning, when things stop making sense, and when the path ahead seems unfamiliar, take a moment to consider, maybe this isn't destruction. Maybe it's disruption. And maybe the disruption is exactly what had to happen to bring you into alignment with what was always meant to be. There is a realm far beyond what our eyes can see, a realm where battles are fought and victories are won long before they ever manifest in the physical. While we often focus on what we can touch, hear, and measure, the truth is that some of the greatest breakthroughs begin in the unseen. Every tear cried in faith, every prayer whispered in the dark, every time we choose trust over fear, these are not wasted moments. They are spiritual actions that carry weight and authority, even when results don't immediately follow. The unseen realm is not silent. It is active, moving, and full of divine strategy, working on our behalf. We may walk through trials that seem to strip us of strength, peace, or clarity, and yet we are unaware of how those very struggles are shaping victories in the spirit. Many times the warfare we face on the outside is only a shadow of the deeper victories being forged within. Strength is rising where weakness once lived. Clarity is coming where confusion tried to reign. What looks like a delay is often divine protection or preparation, because not every victory is meant to be visible right away. Some are layered in time and must unfold with divine precision. There are moments when we feel forgotten or overlooked, wondering if the fight is even worth it. But it's in those moments that faith proves its power. The kind of faith that keeps going when nothing changes. The kind of faith that praises without seeing. That level of trust shakes things in the invisible realm. It causes walls to fall and doors to open. Doors we couldn't have forced open on our own. This is the quiet strength of the believer, to stand when it makes no sense, to believe when there's no sign, and to keep walking when the road ahead disappears into the fog. Unseen battles are not less real because they are hidden. In fact, they are often more powerful because they are orchestrated in the spiritual before being released in the natural. And when those victories finally appear, when the breakthrough reaches our hands, we will understand it was never about what we could do. It was always about what was being done for us, behind the curtain of the visible. And in that realization, faith is no longer just a concept. It becomes a reality we live and breathe every single day. Difficult seasons have a way of making us question everything. When doors close, when the weight feels too heavy, when nothing seems to be moving forward, It's easy to interpret the struggle as punishment. Many begin to wonder if they did something wrong or missed some critical step in the journey. But what if the hardship is not a consequence but a strategy? What if what feels like a setback is actually sacred positioning? What if the pressure is not to crush you, but to shape you for what's ahead? In the kingdom, discomfort is often a sign of preparation, not disapproval. Every trial carries within it the potential for transformation. The pain, the confusion, the waiting, all of it becomes part of a greater plan to align us with purpose. When you are being repositioned, things begin to shift. People may walk away, plans may fall through. The ground beneath your feet may start to feel unfamiliar, and while this can feel like chaos, it is actually divine order in disguise. You are not being pushed away, you are being placed where you need to be. It may not make sense now, but one day the clarity will come, and you'll see how every broken piece fit perfectly into the bigger picture. Just like a skilled artist adjusts the canvas before beginning a masterpiece, your life is being adjusted so that what's ahead can flourish. Sometimes the adjustments hurt. They cost us comfort. They test our endurance. But they are never random. They are intentional movements to prepare us for what we could not carry in our former position. Growth rarely happens in easy places. It happens in the stretching, in the pressing, in the places where faith has to rise because feelings no longer sustain us. Positioning requires pruning. It removes the unnecessary, strengthens the essential, and forces us to lean fully into trust. What feels like loss is often divine alignment, and though it might take time to see the fruit of this season, rest assured, nothing is wasted. Not a tear, not a disappointment, not a detour. All of it is being used to place you exactly where you need to be for the fulfillment of a plan far greater than you could have imagined. This is not punishment. It is the process that leads to power, purpose, and a deeper understanding of the divine hand guiding it all. There is a quiet kind of strength that rises in the soul when everything around seems uncertain, and yet the decision is made to hold on. Holding on is not passive. It is not weakness. It is a spiritual stance, a determined posture of the heart that refuses to let go, even when answers are delayed and hope seems distant. In a world that glorifies instant results and quick fixes, the ability to remain grounded in faith through long seasons of waiting is a profound demonstration of trust. It is easy to believe when the breakthrough comes fast, when the blessings are visible, when everything aligns. But real strength is revealed when belief is tested by silence, by setbacks, and by the slow unfolding of a plan that feels hidden. To hold on is to resist the urge to give up when nothing around you validates your faith. It is to worship when you don't feel like it, to pray when your heart is heavy, to trust when every sign tells you to doubt. There is a depth formed in these moments that cannot be taught by comfort. It can only be learned through endurance. The fire does not destroy, it refines. The storm does not defeat, it strengthens. Every day you choose to keep going, you are building spiritual muscle. You are growing roots that go deep enough to survive any drought. Faith that holds on develops eyes that see beyond the moment. It stops demanding immediate answers and starts recognizing that timing is just as important as outcome. There is a purpose in the wait. There is power in the stillness. Every time you decide to stay faithful in the middle of the unknown, you are participating in something eternal. What you carry on the inside becomes greater than the pressure around you. And though it may feel like nothing is changing, the truth is, you are changing. This kind of faith is not loud. It doesn't always shout or dance or move mountains in an instant. But it endures, it stands, and that standing becomes a testimony that speaks louder than any words. Those who hold on in hard times are not forgotten. They are being strengthened, prepared, and trusted with something greater. Holding on is not just survival. It is worship. It is trust. It is the evidence of a heart that believes even when it doesn't understand, and that kind of faith never goes unnoticed in the heavens. There comes a moment in every journey of faith when everything shifts, not gradually, not with warning, but suddenly. After long nights of prayer, extended seasons of waiting, and countless times of wondering if breakthrough will ever come, the unexpected happens. What once seemed delayed, denied, or impossible bursts into reality in a moment. These sudden moves are often preceded by some of the most difficult seasons, and that is not by accident. The pressure, the pruning, the quiet preparation, it all leads to this divine turning point where everything changes at once. The shift may not come in the way you thought it would, but it will come with purpose, precision, and undeniable clarity. In Scripture and in life, there is a pattern. The night often feels darkest just before the dawn. The ground feels stillest just before it shakes. For those who have remained faithful, who have prayed when there was no answer, who have worshipped through weariness, there is a promise. The shift will not be late. It will come at the appointed time. And when it comes, it will make sense of every delay, every disappointment, and every detour. What once seemed like unanswered prayers will be revealed as carefully orchestrated timing. The pieces that didn't seem to fit will suddenly fall into place with divine accuracy. This is why it matters how you wait. The posture of your heart during the preparation determines your ability to recognize and receive the breakthrough when it arrives. Some miss the shift because they gave up one day too soon. Others walk into it not because they were perfect, but because they were persistent. They kept showing up. They kept trusting. They stayed available. And when the moment came, they were ready. Not always externally, but spiritually. The weight of the waiting season was not wasted. It became the strength they would need to carry the blessing without breaking under it. The move that's coming will be so sudden, so transformative, that it will feel like everything changed in a single breath. Doors will open that were once sealed shut. Favor will flow where resistance once stood. The very things that seemed delayed for years will happen in days. And it won't be because of human effort. It will be the result of divine timing aligning with a heart that refused to give up. When the shift comes, it won't need to announce itself. You'll know. Everything will be different. And it will happen suddenly. So now we stand at the edge of something sacred, a moment in time where silence, disruption, unseen battles, positioning, endurance, and sudden shifts are not just isolated experiences, but deeply connected pieces of a divine plan. You may not understand everything you've walked through, but none of it has been wasted. Ever know that everything you've walked through has been wasted for a purpose, that it no way wasted, solemnly wasted. You are never alone. It is rarest. It is rarest than you can imagine. The silence was setting the stage. The disruption was clearing the path. The unseen was preparing the visible. The difficulty was positioning you. Your perseverance was building strength. And now, now you promised. You overpromised. You overdid. You overpromised. You overkilled. You overtaught. You didn't miss it. You didn't fall behind. You've been carried, shaped, refined, and soon you'll be launched into what's next. Keep trusting the process, because the unexpected move is not only coming, it's already in motion. Thank you for receiving this word with open hearts and listening spirits. I pray that strength rises in you, hope is reignited, and your faith is made unshakable in the days ahead. Hold on, stay ready. The shift is closer than you think. God bless you all, and thank you again for the honor of sharing this time with you.